I don't do apostrophes and commas. That shit's way overrated.
We don't have to do it when we talk, right? So why should we do it when we type?
Yeah.
Dynamite. I loved the opening of Dynamite this week. It was Swerve, of course, comes out and he's talking about Forbidden Door matchup with Ospreay, and he's talking about Ospreay, 10 years ago, blah 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 blah, and then he gets to the Young Bucks. Then we see the Elite come out. And I love Okada. I love Okada here.
He learned a new word.
He loves that word. Yeah. Bitch is Okada's favorite word in his vocabulary. And it's fantastic, just the way he says it. So basically, the gist of this was the Elite, or actually, Swerve said he challenges the Elite to, what am I saying here? Nick Jackson he's got the mic, and he's challenging the best of AEW to a blood and guts match late July in Nashville, Tennessee.
Love it.
So, which I love it, but it's typically, they only got 4, but this match is traditionally 5-on-5. So we got to have a 5th man add to the Elite. Got to think Swerve Strickland's got to be one of the Team AEW guys because he was involved in this promo. He even said last week, hey, whenever you guys are in a battle again, I want to be involved. So, got to think Swerve's in there. Other 4 guys, we're not quite sure. So, last week, in your absence, Paul and I introduced a new segment to the pod, a draft. And last week, Paul and I drafted 5 women's athletes that we thought could be good pro wrestlers. And that was pretty difficult.
Was one of them Angel Reese?
No, she was not. Probably should have been. There was some WNBA players taken, but
okay, all right.
She would have been good. I took Caitlin Clark just because of the hype around her, but I also took Candace Parker, who's not currently a player anymore, but she's built, I think, to handle herself in the ring.
I would say you would have taken Angel Reese because she would be the dirtiest player in the game.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Modern said the way the Bucks sell it with their shocked faces, and that popped me too. Swerve is going to be the leader of Team AEW. Yes, and so like I say, we introduced this draft segment, so I told Shep right before we came on air, about less than an hour, I said, hey, tonight we're both going to pick 5 members of Team AEW, and we'll go one by one, so you get to pick one, I get to pick one, so forth. Can't pick the same guys. Since I'm the reigning defending KLP Predictions champion, you get first pick.
Okay, and as a wild card, I'm going to throw a wild card at you. At the end of this, we're going to pick the 5th member of Team Elite.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to give Swerve already on there. I think it's a no-brainer. It's going to be Moxley.
John Moxley. Yeah, he's heart and soul of AEW.
Yep.
All right, so Mox is off the board. So, yeah, but I'm already saying Swerve. We'll both agree on Swerve, so we have 4 each, I guess, to pick. And then the 5th will be the 5th man of the Elite. So, I don't really see this probably happening, but I'm going to throw it in there. I'm throwing MJF in there. AEW original.
That wasn't – I like the pick because it wasn't on my board.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great.
But I agree with how that would fit.
And he called out the Bucks 2 weeks ago. I mean, the Bucks in Okada were 2 guys he mentioned in his promo when he was throwing names out there.
Well, and it really threw us a curve now that FTR is hurt.
Yes. Or Dax is hurt. Yeah,
or
Cash
Dax is hurt.
They're not going to do anything with Cash without Dax.
Right. So. And I'm not staying with the BB or the Blackpool Combat Cub thing here, but I think Bryan Danielson's in there as well.
Yep, I can see that. Yes, Majin, that wannabe heel Paul is missing action tonight. Hopefully he'll be back next week. Let's see here. So, all right. So Moxley and Danielson are off the board. MJF's off the board. Man, I'm just going to try to stack up my team with talent. Let's throw Ospreay in there. So you're going the more logical route. I'm just like stacking the team up. So
I like that one. I think another member of Team AEW would be an original. And I think they'll bring him back for this. That's Sammy Guevara.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
He's one of the pillars.
It's a good one. That Fightful had a report, I believe, within last week that he's pretty close to coming back. So
he should be. Hey, look, the Hardy bullshit's done. They're gone. They're moved on. Let's move on from that. So yeah, but let's bring him back. I really think Sammy's entertaining. Sammy's a very, very talented performer, hell of an athlete, entertaining, and he can be a really good heel because he gets under your skin, and he can go over as a face. So yeah, I think it's time to bring him back.
Next guy, he's got history with the Bucks, especially recently at Anarchy in the Arena. AEW original, Darby Allin.
I mean, yeah, it's wheelchair accessible, right?
Yeah, I mean,
blood and guts.
He's done everything else. He hasn't been in a blood and guts match. I mean, he'd be the one to take the bump off the top of the cell.
So my final pick, actually, Darby was on my list. So
yeah,
my final pick for Team AEW, man, and I would think. I want to pick this guy for Team AEW, but he's going to be my surprise pick for the Elite. So my pick for AEW, God, I don't want to do this either. I'm going to go Warlord.
Ooh, I like that. Do you think he could get along with MJF, though?
For this?
Or maybe that starts...
I think it could rekindle their feud, but I think Swerve goes after a guy like him because I think Swerve will be the captain. I think Swerve goes after a guy like him because he's a man beast, and I mean there's nobody in the Elite right now that can match up to him.
That's a good point. Very good point. Yeah, this last one's tough because I don't want to use the guy I'm going to put on the Elites team, which I think we're both probably in agreement there. But shoot, don't want to put any in the Death Triangle. A lot of the guys who have been in blood and guts matches in the past don't fit this story or aren't with the company anymore. Like you said, it's too bad FTR's hurt because I think they'd slide in there. Well. This is fancy booking. I don't see where he fits. Heck, they don't even use him right now. I don't even know what his contract status looks like, but I think the guy's too talented to keep off TV. Ricky Starks. Don't know how you get him in there, but
yeah,
it'd be huge if they could.
The other guy that I was thinking, and just because he does whatever Tony Khan says, and just he's after what we saw on Wednesday, he's crazy enough to be Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, Mark would be a good one. Of course, Eddie Kingston would be perfect, but he's on the shelf.
He's on the shelf.
Oh, yeah, a lot of guys injured. So
he broke his pinky toe.
Oh, yeah, in a little more. All right, so fifth man on the Elite. We're probably in agreement here.
Hangman Page.
Yeah, I think it's too perfect not to be. Joining his buddies, going against his arch enemy in Swerve.
Yep.
It's
and I think he finally comes out as, because I think Swerve's switching, so I think he comes out and this is his heel run, and I think Swerve's got to go straight face.
Yep.
I mean, this is how bad it is, Tanner. So there was like 2 week stretch Swerve came out without Nana,
right?
And I was pissed.
Yep.
I'm like, you can't have Swerve without Nana, man. That dumbass dance, like, where's it at? It's gotta have it.
I know.
And then last week they had an 85-year-old grandma dancing in the front row.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah. I mean, like not that Swerve couldn't hold his own. But I mean, right now, Swerve needs Nana.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, he adds to Swerve's babyface character.
Yes. Yep.
100%. 100%. Steffi said Hangman he's an original elite guy. Yep.
And Omega would be the other one, but I think Omega's on the
Majin's wondering if you're okay because you're getting on board with Nana.
Damn, moonshine kicked in. All right, Majin. All right. give the guy a break. It's Father's Day.
Shep, blink twice if you need to be rescued. All right, Majin, hit us with your 5. You said you were going to chime in after we were done. So now I'm interested. But Blood and Guts, always get fired up for that. I think it's the perfect time in July because that's one of the only months in 2024 that we're not getting a pay-per-view. So, yep, and Steffi brings up a good point. Omega, he would be a great fill.
Oh, yeah, Phil. He's out.
He's out. So.
He's out. And also, too, as long as this never happens, and I don't think it will right now with his position and his current storyline, but I do not want to see Jericho on an AEW original team.
No. And we've seen him in Blood and Guts.
Yes. Yeah.
We saw that awful bump off. Well, actually, it wasn't his fault. It was the camera guy's fault. You remember that? That was during the pandemic era.
That was the first one. It was the first one, wasn't it? First Blood and Guts?
Yes. Yeah. And you could see the
cardboard
safety underneath. Yeah.
Cardboard.
Yeah.
The fluff.
Yep. But yeah,
everybody.
We'll get into Jericho. Don't worry. We'll get into Jericho.
Hey, Jericho's 50-some years old. He's used to the old fluff, if you know what I'm talking about. And when you're 50-some years old, you gotta fluff it every once in a while. You know what I mean?
Majin says Danielson, Moxley, Claudio. I have a feeling this is where TK brings in Motor City Machine Guns to replace FTR, and yes, Hangman will be the 5th guy. Yeah, I keep waiting. Motor City Machine Guns. We heard about them months ago, and
but if you're going to bring those guys in right now, you're going to immediately put them in the title picture, right?
I think so.
You would think so.
Yeah.
So I guess this could work because this is going to happen before, but I think you have the Guns, Motor City Machine Gun. I think you have them show up at Forbidden Door to mess with the Bucks, and maybe that ties them into Blood and Guts.
Yeah. And or like Majin, like Majin saying, if you bring them into Blood and Guts, then maybe that plants seeds for Bucks Guns at Wembley the next month.
Oh, that'd be pretty big.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something a year ago you and I never would ever think about.
I mean, I've been a big fan of Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley for years, but I just figured they were TNA for the rest of their career. I really didn't think they were going to venture out, but looks like they're going to.
I'm telling you what, some of those teams like that you're thinking of and people venturing out, I think they're leaving because of Scott D'Amore. I think they were loyal to that dude. I really do.
Which I did you read that report on him this week?
February of 2025. He's got a no commit clause.
Yeah.
So
no compete.
That means he's got to have some type of severance package or getting a paycheck.
Yeah,
because
he's got to be.
Yeah, if you're going to hold a guy out of work for over a year, right?
Yeah,
about a year.
About exactly a year.
You got to give him. Yeah. So obviously he's taken care of, which good for him.
And I think he'll get a job right when that's up somewhere.
It will be. I from what we've heard from the talent. A guy that I take whatever he says very, very highly and respect him, and that's Tommy Dreamer. And you talk about a guy that was super upset when that happened. And he talked about how good Scott D'Amore is for TNA and how good he was for the business. Obviously, he's a pretty good dude. So,
yep. Yeah, a lot of people upset when that went down, and I still don't really know what happened. I think he tried to buy.
He did.
TNA,
he did. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. Corporate America took effect and showed their power. And that's a whole nother rabbit hole to get me started on in corporate America, because we would get explicit real quick. Anyways,